Good morning, everyone. Good morning. Good Saturday, December morning. We have everyone ready to go. What an amazing crowd. I'm Robin Hutchison. I'm the chair of the Metropolitan Council, and it is my great pleasure to welcome you all here today to celebrate the grand opening of the Metro E-Line. This is our 8th bus rapid transit line and the 3rd to open in 2025. 6.5 years ago, in the middle, literally the middle of a summer night, I stood with Minneapolis Public Works crews just outside of the McDonald's on Hennepin, just a short distance from here. Crews were struggling to get the paint sprayer working because we had never used red paint before. And red paint behaves differently in the spray nozzle. And they got it working, and Minneapolis installed the very first dedicated bus lane on Hennepin Avenue. And that would be a very successful pilot test for what paved the way for exclusive bus lanes in our region. It was always my hope that this would become permanent and become part of a larger network of rapid transit to connect people, to strengthen communities, and to improve lives. And that is what the E-Line is all about. And 6.5 years later, I am so fortunate to join everyone who has worked so hard these last years to build this project. I'm so honored to stand here today. We know that we have a great project when we see this incredible lineup of speakers today, and I want to welcome and thank all of our speakers and all of you who have joined us, and we'll hear from these speakers in just a moment. And I also want to say thank you to the Minneapolis College, Leanne Nyberg and Kathy Rumsa, who have graciously hosted us here for this event, so big thanks. Your current and future students, faculty, and staff will thank you for the E-Line. In addition to our great lineup of speakers, we're also joined by many of my Met Council colleagues who I'd like to recognize. Transportation Chair Deb Barber, big round of applause for our Transportation Chair. Wendy Wolf, Councilmember Lilligren, Council Members Carter and Carter, Councilmember Pacheco, Councilmember Jenkins. I also want to recognize former Chair Charlie Zelli, who would not miss this for the world. And Regional Administrator Ryan O'Connor, who said he's hiding in the back, but now you're not hiding anymore. It means a lot. I know the community, it means a lot to them to see you all here. In addition, state legislators Julie Green and Katie Jones, Minneapolis City Council members Katie Cashman and Lene Palmisano, MnDOT Commissioner Nancy Daubenberger, Downtown Council Executive Director Adam Dunnick, and last but certainly not least, the staff and the contractors who are joining us today. You made this happen, you did this work, and we celebrate you, and I'd like to offer a huge round of applause to everybody who worked on this project. Fantastic job. We also offer our thanks to the Federal Transit Administration and Kelly Brookins, my former colleague from USDOT in particular. We thank you for your partnership and investment. And to every community member who is here, and there are many of you, because I know that this group means there are a lot of you here. This is what vision and collaboration and action looks like on the ground. I'm so glad to see you all here. So with that, I have the honor of emceeing through all of our amazing speakers today. And I'm going to start by welcoming and thanking our senators, our U.S. senators today, and I'm going to invite Senator Amy Klobuchar to take the stage.
Well, thank you so much, Robin, and thanks for deciding to have this inside. Even though I know the E-line is going to feature warmer shelters on the way, which is great, but I did want to thank my colleague, Senator Smith. As you can see, we're actually friends, unlike many of our colleagues who don't get along very well. And then also Representative Omar's representative, who's right here. We want to thank Ilhan as well for her work on this. All of the state, county leaders, it's just an incredible show of force here. How many people rode the bus today? Yes! Pretty cool. Charlie Zelli told me he's going to start riding the bus all the time now. And I also love the super nice warm scarves that I'm going to get one right now when we go out there to open this up. So this E-line couldn't be coming at a better time. It leverages local, state, federal dollars to boost our regional economy. And when you think about everything that we've done with rapid bus transit this year, it's really kind of incredible, right? We've done this year alone the Gold Line, the B line, now the E line, and that's all because the people of the metropolitan area got off the sidelines on the front line and said, yes, we want transit in our place. So that's what happened. That was all of my use of the words line, so that was the punchline. There's no more to come. So the opening, thank you, Tina. The opening of the E-line will bring quicker, more reliable service. And the heated shelters along the route, shorter waits, all of this, faster transit from Edina, Mayor, to Minneapolis, Mayor, through Uptown, Downtown, Northeast, yes, and the University of Minnesota, and finally to St. Paul, where it connects to the Green Line. During the busiest time, buses will come every 10 to 15 minutes, so you don't have to worry as much about coordinating things like rides to school, groceries, those kinds of things, because you know when that bus is going to come. And it isn't just good news for riders, it's good news for all of us when we have less congestion on our streets and things run better. In the last 6 years, more than $1.7 billion in economic development has occurred along the E-line corridor. And even more investment is around the corner. And with more convenient access to exciting destinations, ridership is going to grow. And this is a very cool fact. 8 million rides were taken on Metro Transit BRT routes. In just the last year, a 14% increase in the year before. You got to be proud of that. Numbers talk. In Washington, it's one of the reasons that Senator Smith and I were able to get the $5 million earmark, and I thank her for her leadership for this, as well as the additional funding, federal funding of $6 million. And you think about what this means for this great city, Mayor, this great city that we live in, what it means for the metropolitan area, and how it shows the country how this place works. And it works in part because people think ahead and they think of what our needs are and they think of where we want to have development. And so we should be very proud. This is maybe a little proud for the White House, proud of the state of Minnesota and everything that we've done today. So with that, it is my honor to introduce my colleague who's been such a leader on the very issues we're talking about today. She was the chief of staff to Mayor Ryback. She then went over and became the chief of staff to the governor, and then Governor Dayton, and then lieutenant governor, and then she came and joined me in the U.S. Senate. And that kind of experience means you understand that transit matters. So I thank my colleague Tina for incredible years of work, and introduce to you Tina Smith.
Okay, Amy, I wore my scarf. Are you going to wear your scarf?
I am.
Okay.
I am. I got to get it.
Well, good morning, everyone. I have to tell you, it's pretty incredible on this cold Saturday morning to look out across this big room of transit advocates and folks that continue to believe in the beauty and the strength of this community and what we can do when we do it together. So I start out by applauding all of you in this room today. And I'm so glad to be able to add my voice, and congratulations for the E-Line. This is working on transit issues in the metropolitan area is something I have been doing since before I was Chief of Staff, because as some of you know, I worked at the Met Council before I even dreamed that I might one day be a United States Senator. So to be here today and see what is happening with the E-Line is really incredible. And to see so many friendly faces and people that I've worked with for so long on these transit issues is terrific. So as Amy said, this project, it's going to connect Edina with downtown Minneapolis and the University of Minnesota, and so that thousands of people can get where they want to get to when they want to get there in a way that is efficient and cost-effective and is just the best thing for this community. And I want to thank everybody who has done so much to make this a reality. Your imagination, your creativity, your hard work, and your never giving upness that makes projects like this come together. And I also want to do a big shout out to the power of bus BRT. You know, what is the beauty of bus rapid transit is that it provides a high level of quality and high level of rider experience at a fraction of the cost of fixed rail. And this is what makes it be such a fantastic resource and asset for this community. 20% faster people can get around, whether you're shopping at Southdale or whether you're stopping in at France 44 for a sandwich, whether you're cruising through my neighborhood going to Sebastian Joe's or stopping at the Walker or going to a game at the university. You have a great way to get around. So a huge thank you from me to Chair Hutchison and everybody at Metro Transit. Thank you for your leadership on this. A shout out to my, I'm not supposed to say old friend anymore, I'm supposed to say longtime friend, Charlie Zelli, and everybody who's worked so hard on this. And I want to just acknowledge how projects like this happen because of true collaboration. The leaders that are sitting here have been working on this for a long, long time, but in addition, it is the leadership in this room out here, the grassroots leadership, that has made this possible. So I join in congratulating everybody, and let's go ride a bus. Thanks, everyone. Oh. Representative Ilhan Omar has been a huge advocate for this project as well, for the E-Line project as well, and so now I'd ask you to welcome a representative from Representative Omar's office, Marius.
Hello, I'm not the best public speaker, so if I butcher this, I'm sorry.
Take down.
Yeah? Yeah.
This was really for me.
Yeah, I was like trying to spit that. Thank you so much. So a little bit about me. I'm a Green and Gold Congressional Aide at Ilhan Omar's office, which means that I served in the Air Force and I got out, and I'm working as a caseworker, as a staffer for a limited period of time on VA, transportation, energy, environment, many other things. And so yeah, right now, I'm going to read this message on her behalf. She wasn't able to be here, but obviously, you know, she extends her remarks. And so I'm going to start. I wish I could be with you all today to celebrate the grand opening of the E-Line bus rapid transit. Throughout my time in Congress, I have been driven by co-governance, the idea that every stakeholder should have a seat at the table. The ribbon cutting today is an example of what is possible when all levels of government work in partnership with the communities they serve. It took many years of policy making, planning, and construction to make this happen. I am grateful to have had this opportunity to help bring home vital federal funds to ensure that Minnesotans have the transportation options they deserve. I am also driven by the importance of equity, including equitable transit, recognizing that transportation justice is central to racial and economic justice. At its heart, equity in transportation is about connecting people and communities to opportunities, about connecting us to one another. The E-Line will serve thousands of riders across many different backgrounds. It will get my constituents to their workplaces, appointments, community centers, businesses, et cetera, across Minneapolis, Edina, and St. Paul. Today's ribbon cutting is a celebration of what is possible when we think big and work together. Thank you so much to the leadership at the Met Council, to all the legislators at the local, county, and state levels for securing the necessary funds and policy to make this project a reality. And of course, a special thanks to the planners, engineers, and construction workers who built the infrastructure, and to the Metro service workers who will be providing equitable transit to thousands of people. I can't wait to take a ride myself when I'm back in the district. In solidarity, Congresswoman Ilhan Omar. Thank you. And now, I believe it's Met Council Chair Robin Hutchison that's next, so I'll introduce him. Thank you.
Marius, really good job. Thank you so much for being here and representing the Congresswoman. Really good words, and thanks so much to our federal delegation. It means a lot to have you both here, and you speak so eloquently about this project. Thank you so much. Next, we are going to hear from our state delegation. I'm very pleased to introduce State Senator Scott Dibble, who will speak next.
Thank you, Robin. We come as a pair. Everyone knows we just got to come up together. We can't do this apart from each other. So thank you all very, very much. I'm super excited to be here today. So good morning to everyone. Before I forget and get too far in, I want to recognize State Representative Katie Jones, who's here, who represents this area, this wonderful campus, who has been just an amazing champion for progressive transportation policy for many years and has really stepped into leadership in her new role in the House. So happy that you're here. And I also want to echo the gratitude to Minneapolis College for hosting us. This is an incredible institution, an amazing campus, and it's really, really exciting that the E-Line is going to go right by it. It's going to make it all the much more vibrant. So I know President Pierce isn't here, but please carry my gratitude and greetings to her. So today we celebrate far more than a new bus line with the opening of the E-Line connecting the University of Minnesota to Southdale by MCTC, or Minneapolis College, through Northeast Minneapolis along University Avenue, through downtown, uptown, Linden Hills, down France Avenue, right by Frank's house. We're ushering in a new era of mobility, opportunity, and revitalization for our communities. So this service replaces the Route 6 with something better. Faster, more reliable, more frequent, with dignified amenities that riders deserve. The E-Line is a major step forward in building a transit system that truly works for people's daily lives. With this line and its beautifully rebuilt stations, we are restoring and enhancing access, mobility, opportunity, connectivity, walkability, bikeability, and in Uptown, it symbolizes the long-awaited reopening of Hennepin Avenue and a project that will help spark the renaissance of our neighborhoods that we have been working for so long towards. Yes. Most importantly, transit is about people. With the E-Line, folks will more easily get to work and school, appointments, recreation, to dining and shopping, to family and friends, to worship, and in short, to live happy, productive, successful lives. And this moment is possible because of the groundbreaking transportation bill of 2023. One of the greatest honors of my career was to help design and pass that bill with my brother and best friend, then House Transportation Chair Frank Hornstein. And to all of you who are a part of that, give yourself an applause, because that was 30 years in the making. And we stand on the shoulders of great people like my former boss, the chair of the Neighborhood Transportation Network, then the 11th Ward City Council member, Doré Mead, who never stopped pushing for transit that is worthy of people's lives. Bus rapid transit is central to making our transportation work better and more efficiently, and as Senator Klobuchar mentioned, this is the third BRT line to open this year. The Gold Line and the B Line, and the B Line happens to intersect right down the road here at Lake Street, just about a block from my house, just a coincidence. And interestingly, the B Line goes right by my house, it goes right by Frank's house. Who knew? So I want to take a moment to congratulate Robin Hutchison, who succeeds the mighty Charlie Zelli as chair of the Metropolitan Council. Congratulations to you. From the day I first met Robin, she was the Public Works Director of Minneapolis. She was a trusted collaborator, a true partner in advancing mobility systems that center community. Robin understands that good transportation planning listens deeply, designs thoughtfully, and invests wisely, always with people at the heart. And if you'll just indulge me for 1 second, I just want to mention that the E-Line represents a significant state and regional investment in improving connection and reducing travel time for riders. That's core to what makes BRT successful. So we're piloting a design that uses bus-only lanes during parts of the day and allows mixed traffic and parking during others. So we're going to keep a close eye on performance, particularly to ensure that riders traveling outside the normal hours of peak that we're accustomed to morning and afternoon, like students, service workers, and second shift workers, that they continue to experience the fast, efficient service that they've been promised. So today, we celebrate the E-Line, but even more, we celebrate a vision becoming real. A region that is reconnecting itself, neighborhoods that are opening up again, and a future of mobility that is fast, frequent, safe, accessible, sustainable, and joyful. So congratulations to Metro Transit, the Met Council, the planners, designers, engineers, construction workers, our cities, our advocates, and every rider. And while I'm at it, I just want to name a few names, and if I miss any of you, I apologize. With us, we have Sam Rockwell, who is a big advocate and champion. I'm sure Peter Wagenius and Joshua Hodak are in the room. Will Schroer was a big advocate and really turned the tide for BRT investments at the legislature. We got the mighty Charlie Zelli and his sidekick, Judge Shetland, I'm sure is around here somewhere over at the Capitol. We hear from them a lot. Nick Thompson, Charles Carlson, Katie Roth, Leslie Conderas, Ryan O'Connor. The team at Metro Transit, Metro Council has done a stellar job. So congratulations to you. And of course, we have a number of council members, but I particularly want to recognize Deb Barber, Robert Lilligren, and John Pacheco. So let's cut this ribbon. Let's get moving. Congratulations, everyone. I give you the mighty Frank Hornstein.
Thank you so much. Let's give it up for the incredible chair of the Senate Transportation Committee, Scott Dibble. Well, today, with this ribbon cutting and dedication of the E-Line, we are even one more step closer to making the Twin Cities the bus rapid transit capital of North America. Yeah. What we are doing really has national implications because, as so many people have already articulated, this bus rapid transit is really the future of transit in so many ways. And even at the height of the pandemic, when other forms of transit were, ridership was tanking, bus rapid transit remained steady. So this shows you how popular and how important this mode is for mobility, economic vitality, and getting people to where they need to get to in a very cost-effective and efficient manner. And I want to tell a quick story about the Transportation Conference Committee in 2021. We still had divided government. This was prior to the trifecta taking root in 2023, as Senator Dibble mentioned. And we had some tough negotiating with the other side of the aisle. But during that conference committee, we had a very productive conversation, public conversation about bus rapid transit. And that's when this really became a bipartisan issue. And we were able to get buy-in from both sides of the aisle for the E-Line. And I will always remember and treasure a panel of business leaders that came to the Capitol and articulated the need for bus rapid transit and why it's so important. And we were able to make the sale to our Republican colleagues, and that's really how the E-Line funding got started. Of course, we have a combination of different funding sources for this project. So I'm very, very excited that we're dedicating yet another line, the B line, earlier this year. the Gold Line. This has really been quite a year for Bus Rapid Transit. We have many more letters to go. We have the F line that is in planning stages and construction soon. The G and the H lines also coming on. The goal is to get through the entire alphabet with Bus Rapid Transit lines.
All right.
And we can do that. We have shown that we can do that, and we will continue to do that. And so it's now my honor to introduce a real champion of transit and transit justice. Hennepin County has been an incredible partner in all of this work, and Irene Fernando has been at the heart of that. So Commissioner Fernando, welcome, and thank you for all of your incredible work.
Are you communicating something here? Or? I got the podium and the soapbox for some hyped support. Good morning, everyone. I am Hennepin County Commissioner Irene Fernando, but you can call me Commish. Especially the little kids out there, can you say, hi, Commish? Hi, I love to see you. Did you all hear that little hi, Commish up here? I will go to the remarks, but I just first want to express that it is completely heartwarming to see such a full room of multi-generational, diverse, supportive residents and advocates here on behalf of transit. So thank you all for being here. I'm a lifelong public transit user. I was about the age of the little kids here when I rode my first transit line because it was a necessity. My family was new to the country, and that was the way in which we got around in Los Angeles, actually. And there were many times, including different circumstances throughout middle school and high school, where I had to take a public bus 1 hour each way in order to get to the school I was. So multi-generational, lifelong transit enthusiasts are an important aspect to a vibrant and loving and supportive community. So with that, today is a great day for everyone who believes in a future where getting around is safe, easy, and affordable for all. The opening of the E-Line represents not just a new bus rapid transit route, it represents years, maybe even decades, when you really think about the feedback and the visioning that is necessary for transit expansion. Years of collaboration, careful planning, and shared commitment across countless jurisdictions. I want to recognize our partners at Metro Transit, the Metropolitan Council, the City of Minneapolis, and of course our state and federal leaders, on top of the community organizations, advocates, the families and loved ones who need to ride transit every day and took time out of their day to share that with us. We're grateful for your trust, that you trust us with your vision and your dreams. Each of you has shaped this project, and our community is stronger because of it. This collaboration has allowed us to sequence roadway, bikeway, and pedestrian improvements alongside station construction. Now, I'm aware that that meant a pronounced construction presence, but what that meant was we were able to sequence the timeline of our build, which reduced disruptions in order to deliver safer and more welcoming streets for everyone who travels this corridor. Across the E-Line, Hennepin County has invested more than $47 million in multimodal improvements to accompany the transit line. The transit line unto itself is not the objective. The objective is to ensure that people and families and their loved ones are able to get to where they live, work, play, receive health care, receive support, maybe watch a Lynx game or two, in order to get where they want to go and live a full and vibrant life. This included new and improved pedestrian crossings, upgraded sidewalks including ADA ramps, expanded bikeways, as well as signal upgrades at 8 intersections. We also invested in new fiber infrastructure because we know that connectivity is not just physical. In order for all of our community members and neighbors to be connected and competitive in the workforce, we need to be connected by the internet as well. So this is not just a construction project. This is a project around people. This is a project about our climate. This is a project around access to jobs and healthcare and improving educational outcomes. And therefore, this is absolutely a project about equity. And I'm very, very, very proud to stand alongside so many partners and on behalf of Hennepin County to proudly advance equitable, results-oriented, compassionate policymaking on behalf of the wonderful residents of Hennepin County. The E-Line corridor connects some of the most important destinations. I know you probably thought it was done. That was just me chatting. I got a script. I'm going. Thank you for people who write us scripts. From 5 Hennepin County libraries to the small businesses and job centers to major educational and cultural institutions, connects people to our growing transit system, including the blue and green lines, light rail transit, as well as multiple BRT lines, C line, D line, and B line. So we know that when we invest in transit, community investment follows. Along this route alone, more than 3,100 housing units have been permitted, 13% of which are guaranteed to be affordable, which strengthens communities and supports access to opportunity. So today's opening is a proud moment, but it is also a reminder of the work ahead. Every resident in Hennepin County deserves transportation options that support their daily lives and their future. And every resident in all of our cities and the metro deserves this same access, because it is only through regional transit planning, which is why I'm so proud to be with our Met Council partners. It's only through a regional service that we are able to connect all families and communities to the access that they deserve. The E-line is an important part of this vision, but there are many, many more lines. Sounds like the entire alphabet. And I am very, very grateful, particularly for those who support multimodal, means all different types. So where I live, I ride the C-line. Shout out to C-line riders, or the 9. And I hope in some number of years that I'll also have access to the Blue Line extension, because it takes multiple modes in order for folks to be able to access what they need. And so with that, I can't help but just see the number of people here. I'll just also mention, I happen to be the youngest woman to ever serve on the Hennepin County Board. I'm the first Filipino American elected in the state of Minnesota, and I'm our first board chair of color since our founding in 1852. And so I share that because it is my strong belief that we need a lot more transit advocates and transit enthusiasts in public office. So I hope you run, and maybe there's a few future commissioners in this room. So with that, thank you all for this. Congratulations, wink. And I'd love to introduce the mayor of Minneapolis, Jacob Fry.
All right, guys, who's ready to actually take the E-line here? In honor of that, I won't be too long, because the incredible speakers before me have spoken brilliantly about the need for this incredible line, but thank you. Thank you to the partnerships from Amy and Tina and Ilhan at the federal level, who have been leading brilliantly, to our county commissioner, to, by the way, Robin Hutchison has had many titles over the years. She's now the Metropolitan Council Chair. She has worked for the federal administration under Biden and Kamala Harris. But the role that she will always be known in is my book, and I would argue the most prestigious, is she was the Director of Public Works at the City of Minneapolis. We got this incredible partnership with Frank and Scott. You know, there are many important partnerships. One important partnership is Frank and Beans, but a far more important partnership is Frank and Scott, and far more delicious. They get the job done at the state level, and we're so deeply appreciative of their work. So, look, I'm not going to go on for long, but I will, give you a few examples of people that are going to be able to take this E-line and will benefit from it. You're going to have a family that lives in Linden Hills and is going to be able to have a one-seat ride all the way down to Ritter Arena, and they're going to be able to watch the best hockey team in the entire country, the Gophers women's hockey team. There's going to be a couple senior citizens, maybe my mom and dad, who live downtown, that are going to be able to get on the bus and head all the way down to Southdale Hospital without the confusion of switching lines, which for any of us, yeah, it can get a little bit tough. And finally, I'll challenge any student out there to be able to get from Dinkytown over to the bars in Uptown. And by the way, there's going to be more of them every single day for less than $2. This is exactly what we need. We're connecting neighborhoods, we're connecting communities, we're connecting people. That's what we do best here in Minneapolis. And, you know, I'm going to end with actually just a quick story of my favorite, most funny, at least in my mind, bus trip that I've ever taken. I was on my way to work, and I live just across the river from downtown, so it's a relatively short bus ride to downtown to get to where I used to work at, over at IDS. And I get on the bus, and you know, the etiquette is that you sit to the inside, leaving the outside seat open, which is what I was doing. And this guy got on the bus with an uncanny resemblance to Flava Flav. Who, just like, I don't know how many people, millennials out there, old millennials, know who Flava Flav was? All right. So this guy gets on the bus. He had a grill. He had a clock as a necklace. I mean, really looked like, and I'm starting to think, oh my God, I'm starting to think this is actually Flava Flav. I can't believe it. Flava Flav is actually getting on the bus with me. Uncanny resemblance, seriously looked like him. And he's walking towards me, and as he's walking towards me, my smile is getting bigger and bigger. And he sits down next to me, and he turns to me and he says, yo, I'm not Flava Flav. Oh, I'm glad a few people laughed at that joke. I've told this, it's actually true. This is a true story, actually happened, and I've told this story, and there are times when nobody gets it or thinks it's funny at all. But look, these are the kind of connections that are made, and whether it's a connection to a new relationship, maybe you meet your future spouse on the buses, or you meet somebody that is in fact not Flava Flav. That's what our bus system does in our great city, and we're not the only city that's part of this extraordinary Metro Transit bus system. Our connecting city that the E-Line connects to, of course, is right down there to Edina. You could take this all the way from Edina, people. And here representing the great city of Edina and a great partner, give it up for Mayor Jim Hovland.
Yeah, good morning, everybody. We're really honored to be here and be part of this whole process. I've been sitting down at the end here trying to think of a transportation analogy, and I'm thinking about, well, we got the train going here, we got the LRT thing going, we got the financial power in the front end that's helping us with finances, and then Leslie and I are at the caboose end. And we hope we can provide some information and value to you because you've listened to a lot of speakers this morning. You know, I woke up this morning thinking about, I had gone through the run of show last night and thinking of all these great speakers we had that showed up to talk about arterial bus rapid transit. And it made me think about the power of relationships. The power of relationships both personally and organizationally in our region, in our state, because of the way we feel about each other, the way we think about each other, the things we try to do together for the betterment of everybody. And so when I look down that row and I think about the people that I've gotten to know better over the years, individually you can work better together organizationally, and when you start something organizationally and then you develop personal relationships, it just builds on itself. And it becomes a powerful, powerful thing. And in our particular part of the world, we have that strong belief that we're in this together. That this whole notion that we've heard over the years from Paul Wellstone, we all do better when we all do better. And so this is really an important element of that. And I'm going to talk about it just quickly in a couple different ways. So you think, oh, here comes the mayor. He's going to talk about how it's going to benefit Edina. And by the way, we feel pretty lucky that it's the E-Line. And that's just by serendipity. I can tell you that because in addition to being the mayor for a long time, I'm also the chair. Many of you know, but more of you don't, that there's an organization over at the Met Council called the Transportation Advisory Board. And there's 34 people on it, and a slight majority of them are elected officials. I happen to be the chair. I work for Charlie I work for Robin now at their whim, and we've gotten a lot of great work done. And I want to let you all know that with this arterial bus rapid transit, when we started it with the A line years ago, we thought, is this going to work? And it was an unbelievable success. And so we've just roared on from there. And every 2 years, the TAB gets to advise the Met Council members on how to spend this federal money that comes in from our economic engine. And it's about close to 200, at least during the IIJA, it was close to 200 million a year. And it's still pretty close to that, per biennium, excuse me. So every 2 years, we're trying to think about how to spend that 200 million. Over those first 4 lines, we committed 5 lines. We committed 25 million per line. Now we've got a team working at the TAB on looking at the next regional solicitation and how we're going to continue to develop the bus rapid transit lines. And now we're going to commit, I think, a recommendation out of our committee. Mrs. Carter, yeah, she's a member. Who else is on that team with me? Deb Barber, the chair. We're going to recommend $30 million minimum expenditure because of costs going up. So we're committed to ABRT all over the region. Fully committed to ABRT. And I thought Frank said it well. When we may be roaring through the whole alphabet. I don't know. But we're going to get there because we see the value. We see the value of this. Since 2005, I've been working on trying to figure out with every element of government how you better connect people where they live, where they work, and how they get there. And this is going to be a great way for people to move around, not only for jobs, but in other ways. And many of our colleagues have expressed that thought so well. So for all of you, I hope you'll enjoy this E-line. I know Edina's going to love it. The merchants at 50th and France are part of this passport program. I was with the people at Southdale, came from Simon on Wednesday night for the dedication of that new wing out there. And they were just ecstatic about having the E-line come to Southdale. So for all of you, I hope you use it. I hope you have great holidays. I hope you had a wonderful Thanksgiving. And we look forward to seeing you on the E-line and seeing you in Edina. Thank you. Yeah, let me bring up Leslie Canderas. Yeah, I forgot, you know. Getting older.
Thank you,
come
Mayor.
on. This is one of our, we're policymakers, we kind of think we call the shots, but we don't.
No.
It's the staffers at the Met Council and the people that do that day-to-day work that make it function so well.
All right.
And she's the chief functioner, making everything work.
All right. Well, thank you so much, Mayor Hovland. Good morning. So exciting to see so many people join us today to celebrate the Metro E-line. As the mayor mentioned, my name is Leslie Canderas. I have the honor of serving as general manager at Metro Transit. And today is really an exciting moment for Metro Transit and all the people we serve in launching the E-line. But as you've heard from previous speakers, it's just capping a really exciting year. This is the 3rd bus rapid transit line we've launched this year alone. We've never opened 3 new bus rapid transit lines in 1 year. So it's truly a historic year for us at Metro Transit. This brings us up to 8 bus rapid transit lines, including 5 of our arterial BRT or letter lines like the E-line. So again, just really excited to see so many people here today to celebrate this moment. At Metro Transit, our mission is connecting people, strengthening communities, and improving lives by delivering high-quality public transportation. And I really appreciate all of our speakers' comments today about how transit is fundamentally about people. It is driven by people, and it's to serve people, and E-line is just one more example of how we're advancing our mission. There's about 117,000 people who live within a half mile of the E-line. Today's launch of the E-line means we're improving service. We're going to have about 30% more service compared to the previous Route 6, and we anticipate trips will be about 20% faster. And that's real time. As you've heard from people who spoke before me, transit affects people's lives, and when we can get people to where they want to go faster, that means they have more time in their day to spend with family, friends, spend at work, spend studying, doing all the things we want to do with our lives. progress. So we're really excited to launch this today. And the E-Line in itself is worth celebrating, but it's worth reflecting on how it strengthens our transit system as a whole. With today's opening, we will now have roughly 16% of the region's population and 29% of our region's jobs within a half mile of a metro station. So that's all of our BRT and LRT lines. Yeah. And I'll say personally, this morning I got up, I was able to walk to a B-Line station in under 10 minutes, transfer to E-Line. It was a seamless experience, and I'm pretty confident it was faster than it would have been a year ago. And this has been a really good year for Metro Trans in terms of building up our service and better connecting people. We're ending 2025 with about 15% more service than this time last year. So in closing, I also want to just thank and recognize so many of the partners who are here today and those who couldn't join us. As you can tell, to bring a project like E-Line to fruition, it truly does take people from across government, from across our community. I want to thank Minneapolis College, not just for hosting us, but they're also sponsoring free lines on the E-Ride until 10 p.m. today. So everyone, you have no reason not to get out there and try E-Line today, and I hope you'll try it in the future as well. We have heard from many of our local partners, but just again want to thank the City of Edina, Minneapolis, Hennepin County, Minneapolis Park and Recreation Board, the Minnesota Department of Transportation, University of Minnesota, and also St. Paul and Ramsey County. So all the local partnerships are really critical to bring this project forward. Our state and state and federal funding partners, FTA, thank you to both of our senators for being here, Congresswoman Omar's office, our state legislators, just really appreciate this tremendous support. Our own Met Council has also been critical in this, so thank you to all the council members here, past and present, and want to give a special shout out to Transportation Committee Chair Deb Barber at the council. I want to thank our riders as well, particularly those who have been disrupted by all the detours over the past years. We appreciate your patience and hope you really enjoy the E-Line experience. Same with our business owners. We know when we build projects, there are disruption, and just really appreciate the partnership and patience as we work to bring this project forward. And finally, just want to say thank you to all the Metro Transit staff who made this project possible as well. In order to bring a Metro line online, it's truly all hands on deck work across Metro Transit. I am not able to name every single person who should be recognized today, but there are just a couple of people I want to give a special shout out to. Adam Smith, our project lead, is here, so thank you, Adam. And also Eric Thompson, who led our outreach efforts and really worked hard to keep community connected to progress